Hello there. This is my newest extendable blade lightsaber. A replica of the prop scene in Empire Strikes Back. For those who don't know me, I'm Cole Failing. And I'm just this guy, you know? The way I see it, Disney and I are in an arms race. They built an extendable blade lightsaber, and then I upped the ante by also building one, except without the resources of a megacorporation. It's been radio silence from Disney since I released my first saber video, probably because they have not seen it, which means I still have the element of surprise. I'm going to strike again, and harder this time. My new extendable saber build is going to tackle the most iconic prop in the history of film, the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber. There are many different variations of this prop throughout the movies, so I'm going to be building the version used by Luke in Empire Strikes Back, just because that's my favorite version. By now, most people know that the base for the prop used in the original trilogy was a Graflex 3-cell camera flash, so that's going to be my starting point for this build. To build the version from Empire specifically, I'm going to be following the same steps that the props team took to modify the flash. First, I added the 6 T-track grips. In A New Hope, the saber has 7 grips, but in Empire they only used 6. They also milled out these slots towards the bottom of the grips and added Phillips head screws into each one of them. For a long time, the props community believed these to be rivets, so much so that Disney actually made that mistake when they rebuilt this prop for the sequel trilogy. But the one used in Empire originally used screws. On the bottom of the saber, I added the clip from a Kobold camera flash and a large D-ring held in place with 2 rivets. This partially obscures the Graflex logo on the bottom, but not fully, because you can still see some of the patent information in the Hoth scene in Empire. Unlike in the sequel trilogy, where Disney fully covered up the logo. Seems like they cover up a lot of things, if you ask me. I need to lay out Disney, I'm sorry. Now here's where things get kooky. In Empire, they removed the glass eye and added a second red button. Rather than buying a whole second camera flash just for the button, I got my second red button from Roman's Props, who have done a flawless reproduction. The Empire Props team also removed the beer tab from the other red button, which I've done as well. The missing beer tab and second red button are unique to the Empire saber. That variation doesn't appear in any other Star Wars movie. Finally, I added the PCB connector chip to the Graflex clamp and covered the Graflex logo with a 1/2-inch strip of aluminum tape. In A New Hope, the prop had an Exactra bubble strip in the clamp, just like Obi-Wan's saber, but they changed it to a PCB board for Empire, which I think suits the prop a little bit better. And then I added the extendable glowing blade and I was done. Thanks for watching. No, I'm just kidding. I've had a lot of people ask me about my blade mechanism. If you go into the comments section on any of my YouTube videos, it's like 40% people asking me where I got the blade coil from, and 60% people telling me I look like Cal Kestis. I'm never beating the Cal Kestis allegations. Anyway, I went into much greater detail about how I built the saber mechanism in my Obi-Wan lightsaber video, but basically, the blade is made from an extendable staff from a magic trick set. These aren't usually made from transparent plastic, but eventually I was able to find a website that could do it for me. penguinmagic.com. I ordered a couple of these a few years ago when I was first building my Obi-Wan lightsaber, and when I returned earlier this year to get more, they now appear to be sold out. I'm not sure how often they restock the site, so if you're looking to get one, you might be better off using one of the regular opaque plastic versions in blue or green or whatever blade color you need. From what I can tell, these are still very widely available, as are the metal versions. I'm still using a laser for the light source, in spite of the risk. I know there are better options out there, but, you know, the lasers I've been using so far have not blinded me or caused any fires or grounded any airplanes, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Building a different saber design gave me the opportunity to make some big improvements to the blade mechanism, though. Because this saber design doesn't have a thin neck, I was able to store the coiled up blade a lot lower in the body, which makes it a lot more stable once it extends. The whole mechanism is actually just way more robust in a cylindrical saber. Like, looking back on it, the thin neck of the Obi-Wan saber just made every single aspect of designing the mechanism a nightmare, but it looks cooler, so there's that. I've also had a lot of people ask me how I retract the blade back into the hilt, and I'm here to tell you, you do it by hand, my friend. I have looked into motorizing the retraction for a long time, and I haven't given up. but I'll tell you guys about the problem that I'm dealing with. So, in order to recoil the blade, you have to collapse it down from the top while simultaneously twisting the plastic that's gathering at the base. It's dual movement, can't be done by a single motor, you'd need at least two, and also the second problem is that there's no space left in either of these hilts to accommodate a motor, let alone two. And, bonus, third problem, all of the motors I've tested have either been too weak to coil the fishing line or have been too strong and have snapped it. So we've got retraction problems out the wazoo, but at least the extension is looking better than ever. Finally made some progress there. Anyways, the whole extendable lightsaber endeavor is very much form over function, so don't expect me to get too fancy with the mechanism. I am not an engineer, I'm literally just a guy. These sabers take a very long time to build, so thank you for your patience there. But I'm honestly so happy with how this one's come out. I can actually wear this one around on my belt without having to worry about it exploding. You know, it's not as clumsy or random as a blaster, and at the end of the day, the ball is just so far in Disney's court right now. I hope they've been paying attention, because I get more powerful every day. If you want to stay up to date on my other projects like this one, boy have I got the button for you. Thanks everybody for tuning into this lightsaber build. Drop a comment below if you need to tell me I look like Cal Kestis, and stay tuned for my next video where I will be getting banished for mail fraud. I'll see you in hell.